Okay, so first line we're going to graph, we'll do in red. It's y equals 2x plus 1. And literally, as we go through this question, we'll complete almost the entirety of its lesson, of today's lesson. And then by the time we go to the next question, the whole lesson will have been covered. So it says y equals 2x plus 1. We know that's in the form of y equals mx plus b. What is the slope? Everybody. 2 over 1. Good. What's the y-intercept? 1. Good. So now I have to label my axis. It's important to do this because we're setting up the scale. We're setting up the scale. And we learned, in problems like the one we did, the real life ones with the gallons being filled in, or the cookies, or the swimming pool, that scale can be very important in a graph. So I want to make sure that I set the scale. And by going 1 in each direction, everybody knows what I'm doing. I begin at 1, and then I go up 2 over 1. Very good. And always filling in the backside here a little bit because who knows where the point of intersection will be. And this is y equals 2x plus 1. There we go. All right, so there's the red line all graphed. Are there any questions about the red line? Now, I just want to take a second to talk about the meaning of the points on the line and how the line is generated. Now, this holds true for all of the points that I'm emphasizing here, but it also holds true for every single point, even the ones in between that I didn't darken, that the coordinates always check in the equation. What I mean by that is this. For instance, this is the point 0, 1 right here. So let's take the point 0, 1. And remember, any point is always x, y. Let's plug in a 0 for x and a 1 for y and see if it checks. So here's my equation. Plugging in a 1 for y, I get 1 equals 2 times 0 plus 1. Now, what's 2 times 0? 0. Plus 1? 1. 1 equals 1, check. Now I'm going to pick one up here. I'm going to do the point 3, 7, which is way up here. Show you that point checks too. 7 equals 2 times 3 plus 1. What is 2 times 3? 6 plus 1. And what's 6 plus 1? 7. So 7 equals 7. This is checking. Mr. Frank did a ton of this work with you last year, if you had Mr. Frank. And this, for every single point on this line, every point in this line satisfies the equation. It checks in the equation. It works in the equation. It is an input-output pair. Furthermore, if it's not on the line, it does not check in the equation. It's not an input-output pair. Now, the same thing can be said when we graph the next line. Y equals negative x plus 4. What is the slope of that line? Come on, guys, help me out. What's the slope of that line? Anthony?
For 2, it's negative 1 over 1.
Good. And what's the y-intercept? 4. So I begin at 4, and then I go down 1 over 1. And by the way, this is very comforting to me. As soon as it meets on a point where it's like a perfect point, that means I probably got it right. It's not a guarantee, but it's a very good indicator. In real life, it would not be a good indicator, but for the purposes of what we do in 8th grade math, we try to make them work out nicely. Again, I write the equation of the line on there, y equals negative x plus 4. This is a new step, guys. So far, we have not really asked you to write the equation of the line on there. It's important now because we're doing 2 lines at the same time, and we need to know which line is which. Okay? Now, something very, very important has happened. The whole point behind the question was to find the point where the two lines cross. And I'm going to mark that here in green, and I'm going to write the coordinates of that point. What are the coordinates of that point, Sam? 1, 3. So that means when x is 1 and y is 3, it checks in the red equation, and it also checks in the blue equation. They often call that the common solution or the solution set. Okay? So the process is pretty straightforward. You graph one line, then you graph the other line, and you find the point where they meet. And that is the solution. Okay? So what I want to do now is have you work with the people around you and do the same exact thing. At the end, if you remember how to check for Mr. Frank, check. If not, I will check with you after that. So you're going to do the next question. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to get it done. Get rocking. Talk to people.
This is not laugh. This is really good going.
Let's just say it's perfect fun.
There was no
Tired of my own first. I mean,
I do miss your
I'm there. Where'd you go?
I didn't know it was whole time. I missed him. I didn't. Mr. Lindquist, I told you we drink because I'm thirsty and tired and I gotta get ready for my test.
You're thirsty, you're tired, you got a good grade on your test. And
Yeah.
makes perfect sense. Kick butt.
I did.
You did the second one already? No? What's that? You want a drink? I don't think I have any pomegranates in there, but if I do, I'll give it to you later.
Wow.
Wait a minute, so it's a bad thing if I do something nice for somebody?
No,
You should
that's
do it nice for me too.
No, she selfish.
Krista, I'm perfect.
See, just because she said that, she
Okay,
should
I mean, I'm not gonna argue with that, so.
I mean, like,
You can't, because you would say the same thing.
You can't argue with perfection. And she is pretty perfect too. I'm in love with her.
she's about to be like, never mind.
Yeah, I kind of know myself.
How's about doing the graph?
It's a possibility.
Which is an awesome thing, and,
Why you get 100?
oh, I wanna, hey, guys, 1 second of attention here, please. Excuse me.
Hi.
Very important. Most of the skills in this unit, if you did a good grade on the last test, you have the ability to do. So you should do well in this unit as well. So, keep working.
He's so boring. What do you have there,
What's your name? It's negative 1/2 X.
I'm really cold.
Seriously, why don't they put the food on?
Can I ask why you're not graphing more?
Because it's cold. Like I can't. My brain can't work.
You're being counterproductive.
I know.
But when you whine about it, it affects everybody around you.
You do you. I'm gonna do me. Like.
Yeah, but it's important to realize that you're a part of a bigger setting. You want to keep the focus going. You know what I mean? If you want, feel free to bring a blanket in, and I will put the blanket in the back, and every day you come in the room, you can grab the blanket and put it on your shirt.
Are you serious?
100%.
I'm so gonna do that.
You're more than welcome. Not that you're
That's
welcome.
adorable. I'm doing
You
that.
should have more blankets in there because it's cold.
Everybody come. Just be welcome.
Did you propose to your girlfriend yet?
My girlfriend?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
Oh, you're big. I'm thinking, Healy says his wife.
He literally was just talking about his wife. But okay, me too.
That might rest in it.
It's the opposite. Down one over seven.
Oh, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mr. Lewis, have you ever done drugs?
No, and that's the truth.
He said it.
Never in
Not
my
even
entire
like-
life.
Oh.
Nothing.
He said you never got drunk and never done any drugs.
Not even a cigarette.
Like not even like a tiny bit. Like
Nothing.
Have you ever drank a
The
little
only
bit
thing I
of
can be
beer?
accused of is I've been at a couple of rock concerts where people around me were doing it.
oh true.
Mr. Lucas, have you ever
Okay.
The 1975.
I don't think that's a huge major accomplishment with me, because I hate them, and it was very easy to stay away from that. Other things I may have accomplished that may have a little bit more of a sense of accomplishment. I've never cheated on my wife,
That's
and
nice.
I'm a guy and there's girls,
You are a guy.
and there were girls, but
I'm a
I've
guy.
never
You're a
cheated. So
female.
that is a bit of an
Wait,
accomplishment.
wait.
all right?
That's a good question. Have you ever flirted with someone?
Have I ever flirted with a girl? I am very self-conscious and very shy, so I'm not much of a flirter. My wife, however, likes to flirt. Now, the slope, and she would tell you that. Now, the slope is -1/2, and the y-intercept is 6. So, I begin at 6. Let me just set this up real quick. 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, he's shaking.
Oh, it's already broken.
Mr. Lucas,
No, you can ask me in a minute. Guys, you're too distracted right now. I very, very, very much like to run a classroom where when kids come in, they feel very at ease and they feel like they can be themselves and so on. But there is a point where it starts to interrupt the learning, and then it's no good and we gotta cut it off. If you walk out of here today and you don't know how to find a simultaneous solution, that is the point where they cross, I haven't done my job and you haven't done yours. Now, for this first line, the y-intercept is 6, so I begin at 6, and I go down 1/2. And a little bit on the backside there. And if you graph that line right, you're doing really well. Okay. Notice again that I wrote the name of the line on it, the equation of the line. Next one. Slope is 2, y-intercept is -4. So I begin at -4, up 2/1. I am now feeling comforted because I crossed at a perfect point. Y equals 2x minus 4. And I mark that point, which is the point 4, 4. Now, let me talk to you about where I think you might have lost points on your paper if this was a quiz. First place, did you write the names of the line on it? A lot of times kids forget. Did you put arrows on the ends? You should have. Those are very common mistakes. Did you label the point where they crossed?
Yes.
A lot of times kids don't. Make sure you label that point. Now, the last new thing for the day, the last thing you really have to understand is how to check. How many people here had Mr. Frank as a teacher last year?
I did.
Okay, Mr. Frank is check happy. Now, I love Mr. Frank. He's a good friend of mine and an excellent teacher. But I do not like to check, and he loves to check. So I do some checks. He checked everything under the sun. Now, because he did such a great job, it makes my job a little easier. Now, the first one. The first thing Mr. Frank would have showed you about, I'm not going to compete. If you want to talk, go right ahead, but then you're not going to learn. Now, the first thing Mr. Frank would have told you is to write both equations. And then remember, any coordinate is always x comma y. In this case, it's pretty cool because the x is 4 and also the y. It usually doesn't work out like that, but this time it did. So in place of the y, I put a 4. And in place of the x, I put a 4. What's half of 4?
2.
Then I have to negate it. So it's -2 plus 6. And what's -2 plus 6? 4. So 4 equals 4, check. Now, I plug it into this one. 4 equals 2 times 4 minus 4. What's 2 times 4? 8. What's 8 minus 4? 4 equals 4. Check. All right. So notice what we've done here. We've graphed the red line, picture of all the points that work in the red equation. We've graphed the blue line, picture of all the points that work in the blue equation. The green point is the only point that's going to work in both equations. And then I went to the side, and again, when I cross on a perfect point, it means I probably got it right. But to confirm that I got it right, I need to go to the side and do a check. I write the first equation, I write the second equation, I plug in the x and the y, I'm done. One more for you to do. Turn the page. This one is a work alone. Well, all right. Bye, Arrivederci. Smile a lot. Ciao. Arrivederci. Adios, amigos y amigas. Cheerio. Ta-ta. Garusharus. Kadafis.